Hey everyone! Welcome to my channel Manhwa Mantra. I noticed that a lot of you watch my videos but haven't subscribed yet. If you enjoy the content, please hit that subscribe button. It really motivates me to keep creating more amazing videos for you all. In the previous chapter, we witnessed that the tension in the air thickened as Yan Mo, the strongest disciple of the Hellion Flame Sect, arrived, leaving everyone stunned. Even the Demon Soul Sect's Han Yunfeng was wary, suspecting that Yan Mo might be watching the same mysterious non-freak they had come to see. With the crowd speculating about a hidden powerhouse among the lower sects, the stage was set for an intense showdown. So let's get started. Yan Mo! Shui Ruohua's voice trembled with rage, her eyes filled with hate. The memory was still fresh, how this demon had toyed with her sisters, driving them to their deaths. Her bloodshot eyes reflected her anguish. Her junior sisters stood by her side, sensing her turmoil. Their glares matched her revulsion, directed squarely at Yan Mo. But the red-haired man barely spared them a glance. He had no interest in nobodies. His attention was focused elsewhere, searching for someone far more dangerous and familiar. Ruohua, quiet down! This is the Double Dragon Manor! Elder Yun's firm grip on her shoulder was both a warning and a restraint. We can't touch Yan Mo even if we want to. Hellion Flame has his back. Shui Ruohua's face fell. All the pain and suffering her sisters endured. Was it all for nothing? She couldn't even avenge them. Her nails dug deep into her palms, drawing blood. She felt powerless, her fury boiling into a suffocating sense of futility. Meanwhile, Huisheng, standing nearby, seemed startled by Yan Mo's arrival. Tears filled his eyes as he exclaimed, "Master, do you see? Yan Mo has come to see me." Elder Lu, deeply touched, nodded with pride. This attention is dangerous, yes, but it proves your strength has reached the ears of Hellion Flame's first seed. I am proud of you. The surrounding crowd, however, was less impressed. They exchanged bewildered glances, their expressions dripping with disdain. Seriously? There's got to be a limit to delusion. How could they possibly think Yan Mo, a fifth-layer ethereal stage expert, would care about some radiant stage nobody? Man, reel in that narcissism before it gets you killed. The judge overseeing the event simply shook his head. He had no time for such absurdities. What intrigued him more was why two superior sects and a middle, three sect, were present at a lower, three sects competition. His sharp gaze swept across the participants, scrutinizing their rosters and cultivation levels. Nothing about this lineup justifies this much attention, but no matter, everything will become clear once the matches begin. He raised his voice, commanding the assembly's attention. Enough waiting. It's time to draw lots. The battles will follow a tag team format. 3 numbers are in the draw. The first and second will fight, and the third will take on the loser of the first match, followed by the winner. These 3 rounds will determine performance and evaluation. With a flash of light, the judge produced a bamboo tube containing the numbers. Elders from Mystical Heaven Sect and Beast Taming Sect stepped forward to draw their lots. The Demon Scheming Sect, however, stood rooted, their eyes fixed on the entrance. Their disciples were nowhere to be seen, and anxiety gripped their ranks. Fiend Yang finally spoke, his tone a mix of desperation and deference. "Elder, our people are running late. Could we possibly wait a little longer?" The judge's expression was as emotionless as stone. "The time is up. No further delays. Draw your lot now or forfeit." Fiend Yang hesitated, pacing nervously. "I understand, but..." The judge cut him off, his patience wearing thin. "Draw now or you're out." Fiend Yang sighed, muttering under his breath as he approached the tube. His companions weren't helping, snapping at him to make it good. "Why don't you do it then?" Fiend Yang shot back, frustration etched on his face. His companions backed off, leaving him to his task. With visible reluctance, Fiend Yang reached into the bamboo tube. His face fell the moment he saw the number. I drew number 1, he admitted, his voice heavy with defeat. Laughter erupted from the opposing sects. Fiend Yang's misfortune was their entertainment. His fellow fiends groaned, their frustration mirroring his. The elders from the other sects took their turns with exaggerated pomp, savoring the moment. Beast Taming Sect drew number 2, leaving Mystical Heaven Sect with number 3. Huisheng couldn't resist gloating. "What a shame. I was hoping for a real challenge." But with Demon Scheming Sect starting off, this will be an easy win. His arrogance was insufferable, his words dripping with mockery. Fiend Yang's fury burned, but he had no outlet. They were bound by the rules of the Double Dragon Gathering, and retaliation wasn't an option. Suddenly, Shui Ruohua stepped forward, her voice calm but resolute. If Demon Scheming Sect cannot participate, allow us, Mystical Heaven Sect, to take their place in the first match. Fiend Yang blinked, momentarily stunned by her offer. He managed a small, grateful smile. But before the judge could respond, Elder Yun's outraged voice cut through the air. Nonsense. My disciple has overstepped. She doesn't speak for the sect. He turned to Shui Ruohua, his glare sharp enough to cut steel. What are you standing there for? Get back! Shui Ruohua bowed her head in apology and returned to her sisters. She had seen this as an opportunity to repay the Demon Scheming Sect for saving them before. But Elder Yun had made his stance clear. Zhuo Fan was too formidable. Giving him any advantage would be foolish. Chu Qingcheng, once the leader of the Drifting Flowers edifices, observed the scene with a faint smile. She spoke softly to Shui Ruohua. Senior sister, we're rivals now. Mercy isn't necessary. Besides, this delay won't affect Zhuo Fan in the slightest. Her words carried weight, but they left others puzzled. Isn't Chu Qingcheng close to Zhuo Fan? Why does she seem indifferent? Has their relationship soured? The truth was far more nuanced. Chu Qingcheng understood Zhuo Fan better than anyone. She knew he didn't need anyone's help, especially not for something as trivial as this. Fiend Yang, meanwhile, seethed inwardly. Ungrateful hypocrites, he muttered under his breath, glaring at Elder Yun. If I'd known this is how they'd repay us, I'd have let Yan Mo finish them off. Yan Mo, watching from the sidelines, smirked. Righteous sects, huh? Nothing but frauds. Even I feel sorry for the Demon Scheming Sect. They don't deserve this. Tension thickened in the air as the judge raised his voice again. Will the Demon Scheming Sect's disciples appear, or will they forfeit? The beast-taming sect bristled with confidence, their smugness threatening to burst. Then, a powerful aura swept through the arena, silencing everyone. It was an energy unlike anything they'd felt before. A familiar voice rang out, cutting through the tension. Ha ha ha! My apologies for the delay. The Demon Scheming Sect has arrived! At long last, the moment had come. Everyone's attention shifted toward the entrance, including the mighty Han brothers and Yan Mo. A collective sigh of relief swept over the fiends, as if they were silently thanking every god and ancestor imaginable. Finally, their saviors had arrived. Any later, and it might have been game over. The sound of footsteps echoed across the hall, casual, unhurried yet brimming with confidence. Emerging from the shadows was none other than Zhuo Fan, his sinister grin cutting through the tension like a blade. Behind him followed Qi Changlong and the rest, their expressions dark, eyes colder than ice. They were like predators on the hunt, exuding an overwhelming aura. The energy radiating from them was staggering, each of them a force to be reckoned with. Yan Mo and the Han brothers could hardly believe their eyes. How is this possible? Zhuo Fan stood confidently at the third layer of the radiant stage. But the others? They looked completely transformed. Their cultivation levels had skyrocketed. Qi Changlong, Lu Shi, and Bai Lian were now at the third layer of the ethereal stage, while Guihu had reached the second. Kui Lang and Yue Ling followed close behind at the first layer. Even the weaker disciples, Tai Ying, Kui Gang, and Yuer, who had taken the heaven-reaching pill earlier, were now at the sixth layer of the radiant stage, a leap from their previous second. In total, the Demon Scheming Sect had 6 ethereal stage experts, 3 radiant stage elites, and 1 mysterious leader in Zhuo Fan. On paper, his cultivation seemed modest, but the power he concealed was terrifying. This was no ordinary lineup. It rivaled even the top 3 sects, leaving the middle-tier sects in shock. Yanmo broke into a cold sweat. It wasn't just Zhuo Fan anymore. The entire team had become a threat. Han Yunfeng, still stunned, glared at his brothers. What is this? Half their team is in the ethereal stage. How could you not catch this? What kind of scouting were you doing? The second brother stammered. I don't know. This doesn't make any sense. Han Yunfeng turned toward the trio of elites from the Demon Scheming Sect, who had once been far weaker. 3 of them were only in the 8th and 9th layers of the Radiant, staged just months ago. How could they possibly reach the third layer of the ethereal stage? This is beyond logic. Brother, it's true. The second brother looked as though he'd seen a ghost. I don't understand how this could happen. Even with all our resources, it took you so long to break through. And they managed it in months? The third brother nodded in agreement. It's them all right, but this speed... It's terrifying! A heavy silence fell over the Han brothers as they realized the implications. Han Yunfeng's face darkened. We can't take the demon-scheming sect lightly anymore. They're not just a challenge. They could replace us entirely. We need to shift strategies. Our priority is avoiding last place among the middle sects. That's the only way to escape their shadow. The other two nodded grimly. Who's the one you said we needed to watch out for? Han Yunfeng asked. The second brother pointed nervously at Zhuo Fan. It's him. Don't let his cultivation level fool you. He's a monster. Han Yunfeng studied Zhuo Fan carefully. The ethereal stage disciples walk behind him. That means his strength is far beyond what it seems. Anyone who underestimates him will pay dearly. He fell into deep thought. 6 ethereal stage experts and 1 monster. The demon-scheming sect is an enigma, and whoever is behind this rise in power is nothing short of a genius. Meanwhile, Zhuo Fan's arrival was met with jubilation from his own team. Fiend Yang couldn't contain his excitement, rushing forward and pulling Zhuo Fan into a bone-crushing hug. Brat, you've done it! You're incredible. I could kiss you. Zhuo Fan flailed in his grip, glaring. Let go of me! I don't do that kind of thing. Fiend Yang laughed heartily, his joy undampened. Neither do I, but you've shocked me so much I can't help myself. He turned his gaze to the disciples following Zhuo Fan, each one brimming with power. His grin widened. This kid is a miracle worker. The other fiends nodded, their faces glowing with pride. Zhuo Fan had achieved the impossible, transforming the sect's disciples into elites in just months. Across the field, however, not everyone shared their joy. 2 sects stood frozen, fear etched into their faces. Elder Yun, who had already witnessed Zhuo Fan's monstrous strength, now faced an entire team of disciples molded in his image. Even the girls from other sects were left speechless. They had seen these disciples only recently, struggling to keep up. Now they were powerhouses. Chu Qingcheng smiled softly, her voice calm. I told you this was nothing for him. From the start, we should have seen them as adversaries. She Ruohua looked pale. How can you be so calm?